Hello. In this session, I will be demonstrating how to use VLOOKUP, a more advanced function in Excel. VLOOKUP is short for vertical lookup and can be extremely useful for businesses. Its purpose is to allow the user to search for specific information in a spreadsheet. Although it may be very easy to find information in a spreadsheet that has only a few columns and rows of data, large data sets can be nearly impossible to scroll through and find information you need. This is when VLOOKUP comes in handy. So to begin, we're going to start off with the basics and just get right into it. This is the first of 3 examples, and in these 3 examples we're going to be imagining that we're a teacher and we have a set of data, the ID numbers of students and their last names. So to begin, we're going to use VLOOKUP to find the last name of a student based on their ID number. So we're going to type in an equal sign and then VLOOKUP. And VLOOKUP has 4 arguments. So the first argument is the name of the item you are searching for. In this case, that's the ID number of a student. So we're going to be looking for student 301. And it's important to note the first argument uses the leftmost column every time. So that's called vertical lookup. It will take the first column and vertically go down to find that value. And it's important to have that column be something that can define the data. So in this case, an ID number is perfect because each person will have their own unique ID number, whereas a last name would not be the best, because if you have someone with the same last name, then the data gets, the function gets messed up. So now we will get the table array, which is the cell range that contains the data. So we're just going to highlight all the data, another comma, and now we're going to look for the column index number, which sounds rather complex, but it's actually very simple. So in this case, we are looking for information in column B. That is the second column, so we're going to type in 2. Another comma, and finally, we are going to it's the range lookup, which looks for approximate matches. Now this is going to be either true or false. True means that you are looking for approximate matches. False meaning that you're looking for exact matches. And in all these cases, we're going to be looking for exact matches, so we will type in false. Student ID number 301 matches their last name, Thorne. So now we're going to go on to our second example. So in our second example, we have a bit more data to work with. And so this is just showing how it would look for larger sets of data. So again, we're going to go equals VLOOKUP, grab the function, the lookup value, let's pick 455, comma, the table array we will highlight as follows, another comma, the column index number, let's say that we're looking for student 455's major. So we're going to type in 6 because the major is the 6th column, another comma, and then false, student number 455 is a finance major. Okay, on to our final example. Another thing that VLOOKUP is used for is to pull in information from other spreadsheets. This is a more advanced function of it and something that you could be seeing in a business as well. As before, we're going to type in equals VLOOKUP to pull up the function. Our lookup value in this case is going to be this 112 number, comma, and now the table array is actually going to be found in the second example. So we will go back into the second example, highlight the table, data, comma, to end it, and then back to the third example. We're going to want to go into this function and just delete that third example. So we'll mess up our data, we'll mess up our answer and come out as not an actual answer. So now to our column number. So in the second example, the column number for last name was number 2, another comma, and then the range lookup is false. So as you can see, we have found that Harper, last name, is ID number 112, which when we go back to the second example, checks out. So now we're going to want to carry that over to the rest of the data. So we can pull this down, and as you can see, all the last names go in order. So now if we try to pull it over, you'll notice we'll get an error, and this is for several reasons. First, we're going to want to go up here and anchor A2, which is the name of the item, just so that we're always dealing with A2 in that column. We're going to go into the cell range, and we are going to anchor all of those values because that is the only data set we will be using. And then we can press enter. As you can see, as we pull down, it will remain the same. And when we pull over, we'll get Harper again. That's because we haven't adjusted for the column yet. So we'll type in column 3 because that is the column on the second spreadsheet for first name. Enter that in, we get Harry. Can now pull that down. And finally, we'll pull over from first name to ages. We have to adjust for the column. Get the ages, and then pull down. And that's VLOOKUP.